She was so brave and so bold and so brilliant for on anti protesters that we're all worried about the lives like that. Like she didn't even take a breath between the two statements. Like the switch up is crazy. Like you think we can't hear what you just said? I hate all the defense contractor pieces of shit. I hate Northern Virginia specifically. I hate all the Langley. I hate all the North defense contract. What the? This account just only posts this every day, daily. Anyway, here are some liberals fawning over Kamala Harris's Hillary Clinton moment.
Because we believe in democracy. Everyone's voice matters, but I am speaking now. I am speaking now. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that. Otherwise, I'm speaking.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that coming. Pretty good. Joining us now, Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow of Michigan, who spoke at the Detroit rally last night. That's a
Yeah, I don't want to watch this. It's gonna fail.
You know what?
Oh my God, the media is covering this. Oh God, they're all over this. Libs were so libbed up about this on TikTok. I despise it.
You know what?
Well, first of all, Mika, it's always great to be with you. I have to say, it was so impressive. I mean,
Here's a better response to Harris' stance on Gaza.
Okay, so over the past day or so, Kamala Harris has really come under fire for how she chose to engage with pro-Palestine protests.
Bro, this is a 5-minute TikTok. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy for this one.
I was behind the stage with Tim Walz at the time and a group of us, and we were watching on screen, and we couldn't hear exactly what was being said by folks in the crowd, but we heard her respond and say people had the right to speak. And then we heard something else, and when she did that, and the look on her face was priceless, actually. I turned to Tim Walz and said, "You don't want to ever do anything to cause that face." And we were just all like, wow. What a powerful moment. So
wow, it was so sick when she just shat on the anti-genocide protesters, dude. Wow. Hey, wallah, baba. The way she stood them down, stared them down, and was like, "You for taking a stance against genocide."
Not easy when you're standing in front of over 15,000 people and something like that happens, but I thought she was magnificent.
Senator, so what the protesters were shouting there at the vice president, just because it's a little tough to hear on the audio, is "You can't hide." And we know that the vice president, in her rhetoric, has condemned some of the civilian casualties there in Gaza. But it's clear the war in the Middle East has dogged this White House. And there are certainly expectations that there will be significant protests, perhaps, at the convention in Chicago in just 2 weeks' time. How concerned are you that this could be a real issue, particularly in your home state of Michigan, which features such a large Arab American, Muslim American population, and many of those people are so deeply pained by what's happening in Gaza?
Well, that's an important question because, frankly, we're all pained. We are all pained about the loss of life. The hostages need to come home.
Are you? Evet. Orada ufak beyaz konteynerda var. Dolapta.
There needs to be a ceasefire and a peace agreement, which is what...
Dude, politicians are crazy because look at the switch up. Like she went from, oh, she was so brave and so bold and so brilliant for on anti-genocide protesters that we're all worried about the lives like that. Like she didn't even take a breath between the two statements. Like the switch up is crazy. Like you think we can't hear what you just said?
Pained about the loss of life. The hostages need to come home. There needs to be a ceasefire and a peace agreement, which is what President Biden and Vice President Harris are working towards. We need to be respectful of everyone. What's been happening is absolutely horrible, no question about it. And I think the Vice President has reflected that in her comments over and over. I will also say, though, that there were many of us that spoke, a number of us that spoke as elected officials who all share the same general feeling about bringing the hostages home, ceasefire, certainly supporting Israel's self-defense, but against Hamas, but at the same time standing up against the loss of life, Palestinian loss of life. And the only time that this...
Bro, she's tap dancing. She's trying to have a hard time. She's having a hard time coming to a coherent point on this.
Happened at all, the disruption at all, was at a moment that she was speaking in, not for me, not for the governor, not for anyone else. It was not a general theme, is what I'm saying, because the larger group, everyone supports our ticket and wants them to win. And even when the group spoke up, which they have every right to do, they were overwhelmed by people saying, we don't want to go back, we don't want to go back, and basically supporting her. So it's very important, but it's only one piece of Michigan, the complexity of Michigan. And, this was the 6th time she came back to the state just this year, which is amazing. And I do have to just get in that if you want to make an entrance, do it on Air Force 2. I have never seen an entrance like that before. It was,
He's like,
come
on.
Masterful,
I said the lines.
And the crowd really went wild.
I said the lines about the disgusting Palestinians, okay? Are you happy? Shut the f*** about them now. Let's get back to what really matters. Oh, that entrance. Oh my God. Oh my God, that entrance. It was so sick. It was so beautiful. Oh, the pageantry. Yeah. We care about the Palestinians. All right, shut up.
Hey, Senator, I want to pivot a little bit to your personal story and where you are in your career right now. You are retiring from the Senate, where the median age is almost 66 years old. Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin is running to replace you against former Congressman Mike Rogers. A few weeks ago, Slotkin had mentioned offhandedly on a call with donors that you were doing a radical thing by passing the torch. Joe Biden shortly thereafter followed, your path. I'm wondering, if you can talk a little bit about that decision-making process and whether you have any advice to some of your fellow colleagues in the Senate about whether they should do the same.
Well, first, when I say I'm so proud of Elissa Slotkin, who's going to hold my seat, which is very exciting. She won by well over 75% in her contested primary, so I'm very excited for that. For me, I just think it's very important to really know when to pass the torch, and both for personal reasons, it was important to me. My mom's 98. I've got grandkids I want to spend more time with, but I also think
my mom is 98, which is why she'll be replacing me on the ticket. Bro, your mom is alive? That's crazy. What? They wanted to run laps, but they were the ones that made it an issue when your Israel takes are this bad?
We're at a time where we need new ideas and we need new energy. And I think that what the president did was very, very courageous. I think it's important to be able to make those decisions. The president called me the day after he had made that decision. He said, you and I are both retiring at the end of the year. We're going to hold hands and run through the tape. And I think we'd be better off with each of us taking a look at that and making that kind of decision.
Senator Debbie Stabenow of Michigan, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.
All right, we're skipping this.
Joining us now, former GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy is with us. All right, Vivek, let's get your take. Greatest contributor to the Democratic Party is the media. We have Kamala and Tim in their own words. It is the most radical candidates to ever run on a major party ticket. for the presidency and the vice presidency in this country. And yet they go completely unvetted. They have a media that is compliant, an extension of their press office. Your reaction to it, and how does the Trump campaign deal?
Or maybe, and I'm going out on a limb here, maybe people don't think it's radical to feed children and do paid family leave. Like, on its face, this might be a unique proposition, but I don't think people think it's that radical. I'm just saying.
Deal with that challenge. It's a challenge.
Look, part of this, Sean, is the consequence of the fact they laid a trap for us. And the trap was this. Joe Biden was the nominee, such that for the last 18 months, Republicans have focused our financial and political capital on attacking Joe Biden when he's not the nominee. But because the press is the one that criticized Biden in that last month, here's what they've done. They've banked some artificial credibility with the public. I've talked to many independents across the country, and their main pushback on the idea that the media is biased is the fact that, no, they were just criticizing Biden as recently as last month. So in some ways, we were led into that trap, and now it's up to us to find our way out of it. Here's that path, Sean. I think that we would make the same mistake again by just obsessing over the candidates instead of following a 3-word formula to win this election. Focus on policy. Focus on our own vision for this country. What do we actually stand for? That makes the other side irrelevant by comparison. That's our only chance at success, and I think it is going to be our winning.
He's literally not wrong, except what policy? Like, he's not wrong, but herein lies the problem at the heart of the Republican Party, which is what policy? Like, you have that's the issue with the reactionary message, right? You don't really have a policy to stand on. Mass deportation of migrants, that's a policy that Trump is advancing. Oh, yeah. I can't believe that they put a drill meme in a press release, and then drill immediately came out, posted the press release that in case you thought the IDF were the worst thing our government is sanctioning. I think it's so stupid to post a drill meme. They should never do that on principle. Not because it's going to backfire on them when drill says some but like, what are you doing? You're a campaign, man.
Path to success, but we got to learn from our mistake last time around to correct it this time.
See, I think if this election comes about their radical extremism on immigration, on law and order, or the lack thereof, and defund, dismantle, no bail, if it becomes about no fracking and no drilling and energy, if it becomes about their economy and their economic policies and their new Green Deal desire and a 70 to 80% tax rate and taxes on unrealized capital gains, small business and corporations which don't pay taxes, and about America's role in the world, it's a slam dunk. They can't win. But bypassing this almost impenetrable wall of the media is hard. They're corrupt.
Of course it's hard. But you know what? We're running to save a country here, Sean. So that work is cut out for us. The question is whether we rise to the challenge. Seal the border, grow the economy, fight rampant crime in this country, and stay out of World War III. If this election comes down to those 4 things, we win this handily. If it doesn't, we lose this. I think those are our 2
It's crazy when he's not talking about like Reddit ass takes about, limiting our commitment to Ukraine so that we can create a new allegiance with Russia against China, the greater enemy or whatever. He's actually right. Like, none of this stuff is bad. He's not wrong. He's fear mongering, but even then he's doing it in a smart way.
Choices. The reality is the voting public's not going to be voting for Tim Walz. So I think this news cycle is going to go away regardless in another week. But what is Walz's selection?
Like, make no mistake, I don't agree with anything he's saying. He's an idiot. But like, this is the correct way to campaign if you're a Republican. He's not wrong.
Actually tell us. It teaches us about Kamala Harris and how she'll make decisions as a U.S. president and to which wing of her party she actually bends the knee. And so this has opened up. This has been exactly what we needed. It has given us the reset we needed in this race to refocus on policy. They've served this up. I think it was a great gift, making Walz the vice presidential nominee. Having given us that gift, now it's up to us to receive it and use that to actually offering competing visions for the future policy governing the United States.
I think they're baiting the Democrats to retriangulate and act like they're moderates instead of just saying, like, moderates on whatever the Republicans consider to be moderate, which is really stupid. Instead of saying, what are you talking about? We're feeding children. That's a moderate position. That's not a radical position at all. you are the radical if you think that that's insane. That's the reason why I think they're going ham on this, like, oh, they're doing a socialist ticket. Your Rage read a list of Walz's policy last night, not knowing anything about him, and was like, these things sound really good. Yeah, that is the average person, dude. The average person's opinion when you put a laundry list of this guy has done in Minnesota is not going to be, wait a minute, what about trans genitals? Okay? God, it's like, I'm going to cry. For 10 years, I have endlessly, ceaselessly, almost every single day advocated for exactly this. Okay? The idea that if you run on these good policies, you get them, you push for them, and you actually successfully implement them, people will go, well, that seems like a good idea. I want that. Look at this. Tim Walz's communist agenda, unsupervised female health decisions. No, this is a meme. This is not real. Yeah, okay, never mind. Why are you sending me that? No, show me the real Fox News. Baited? Are you kidding me? I clicked on it thinking it was like a real, clicked on it thinking it was one of those like real socialist, like radical communist agenda. It's not. I did not fall for that at all. I glanced at it for literally 3 seconds and immediately called it fake. That's not being baited. I don't have the gift of foresight in the sense that like, oh, this dumbass meme that I'm going to click on from my chat is going to be a fake one. Here's the actual real screenshot. Bro, this is literally the same screenshot. I'm losing my mind. Check my log. It's the real list. Yeah. Yeah. Adopted California's auto emission standards. Signed a bill to make abortion a fundamental right. Signed a bill to mandate shift to 100% clean electricity. Wow. It's really bad. It's really scary.
If we do that, we're successful, but that's up to us.
I have 5 issues. You have 4. I would dial in on how they plan to save the country, make America great again, to steal a phrase, and also pointing out their radicalism in their own words. And somehow there's got to be an effort to bypass